This 17 News at Noon podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Good day, I'm Elena Rusk. We begin with national news as NBC confirms a federal judge today ordered the Justice Department to unseal at least some of the probable cause affidavit used to secure a search of former President Donald Trump's Florida estate. A top national security prosecutor said today the Justice Department investigation into whether former President Trump illegally stored classified records at Mar-a-Lago and potentially violated the Espionage Act is still in its early stages. Magistrate Judge Bruce Reinhart says he'll, quote, give the government a full and fair opportunity to make redactions to the document and ordered them to turn in the redacted version by next Thursday. Now to our follow-up file, as a second victim has died after a shooting at a motel in South Bakersfield this weekend. It happened just before 7:30 Sunday night outside of a room at the Vagabond Inn that's on Colony Street near Panama Lane. Investigators say 40-year-old Erica Lares from Huron was pronounced dead at the scene, and a man was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Today, officials say that man has died. He's been identified as 40-year-old Cristobal Rojas Hernandez from Mendota. About 30 minutes after the shooting, police say they found the suspected gunman about a mile away and took him into custody. He has been identified as 23-year-old Vicente Nico Williams, and he appeared in court yesterday, pleading not guilty to charges of murder and attempted murder. He is being held without bail and is due back in court August 29th. And the Kern County Sheriff's Office has identified the body that was pulled from the water at Hart Park this week. Deputies say search and rescue teams were called out to the lake about 12:30 Tuesday afternoon for a report of a body floating in the water. Officials have now identified that victim as 54-year-old David Gregory Workman of Bakersfield. Officials say no foul play is suspected, but the investigation has been handed over to the park rangers. For the second time in 2 years, former McFarland High School basketball coach Fernando Perneda was sentenced to prison after convictions related to pursuing sexual relationships with minors. The 40-year-old former coach was sentenced to 3 years in prison today after he pleaded no contest last month to 3 felony counts. Pruneda was arrested in November in an online sting operation in which he planned to meet someone he believed was a 14-year-old boy for sex. That's according to a court filing. Detectives changed the meeting location and Pruneda went to both sites, and the court documents say he was then arrested at the second location. Previously, in 2018, Pruneda was arrested after a freshman basketball player told authorities the coach pursued him for a sexual relationship and touched him inappropriately under the guise of giving a massage. That case was resolved in October 2020 when Pruneda pleaded no contest to contacting a minor to commit a sexual offense. He was sentenced to 2 years in prison and ordered to register as a sex offender. And making news around the state, it is a haunting story that many remember. The last of 3 men convicted of hijacking a school bus full of Central California children for an attempted $5 million ransom back in 1976 in what a prosecutor called the largest mass kidnapping in U.S. history is being released by the state's parole board. Governor Gavin Newsom asked the board to reconsider paroling 70-year-old Frederick Woods after 2 commissioners recommended his release in March. Woods and his 2 accomplices kidnapped 26 children and their bus driver near Chowchilla. They buried the children, ages 5 to 14, and their bus driver in a moving van east of San Francisco with little ventilation, light, water, food, or bathroom supplies. The victims were able to dig their way out about a day later.
Hello, this is Tim Callahan with Clinica Sierra Vista, and we're excited to unveil the Community Health Center of the Future, our comprehensive care center. It's located right across the street from Memorial Hospital. We have every service under one roof, from family medicine, OBGYN care, dental services for adults and children, behavioral health, and much more. So find your way to better care at Clinica Sierra Vista this year at our comprehensive care center. Visit our website, clinicasierravista.org, for the latest on this project. We'll see you soon.
Well, let's get into business news because a new food truck business has been opened up by a local Kern County hero. The food truck is run by a Marine veteran, his partner, his son, and his best friend. Together, they bring gourmet comfort food to hungry customers. The most notable feature of the food truck is the iconic name, Semper Fries.
The Marine Corps motto is Semper Fi, which is Latin for always faithful. Semper Fries. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point.
Isn't that fun? The truck will offer gourmet French fries, mac and cheese, funnel cakes, and tri-tip sandwiches. Melvin's next event will be this Saturday at Lake Ming for a custom car show supporting autism. That event will run from noon to 5 if you want to head out and get some of that grub. And check this out, the Kern County Sheriff's Office is adding 2 new uniform patch options later this year. A 9/11 patch will feature the Twin Towers, a flag in the shape of the Pentagon, and the number 93, in homage to one of the planes that crashed that day. KCSO deputies, detention deputies, and sheriff's aides can begin wearing the patch on September 10th. And a breast cancer awareness patch will be available in the month of October. KCSO says the patches raise awareness for causes important to their department. Let's get into some education headlines now. And now that school is back in session, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Kern County excited to be providing after-school enrichment opportunities for local kids. Organizers say they work in partnership with each community school and family to designate a program that will meet their specific needs. They then draw upon the most effective academic enrichment, physical fitness, nutritional, and life skill programs to challenge kids and make the learning fun. These after-school programs are for ages 5 to 18, kindergarten through high school, through 3 traditional clubs and 64 school-based club sites in Arvin, Bakersfield, Fraser Park, Gorman, Lamont, Kernville, McFarland, Lake Isabella, Lebec, and Tehachapi. If you didn't hear your city, there's likely one nearby. You can register online for the Bakersfield clubs, including the Armstrong Youth Center on Niles Street and the Stockdale Club on Young Street, but you'll need to register in person for the Lamont Club. Just get some more information on their website. And Do the Math, set to return for its 21st season coming up September 13th. The live local program is a standards-based mathematics TV show with free tutoring produced by KCSOS's Kern Education Television Network. Coming up September 13th, host Michael Kushine and several math tutors will take problems from callers and solve them live on the air. While mathematics is at the core of Do the Math, of course, the show has evolved into all things STEAM, with an emphasis on how science, technology, engineering, arts, and of course math is applied within real-world situations and careers. This season, Do the Math will begin a half hour later than in years past to account for new state laws that adjust school schedules for middle school and high schoolers. The live TV show will now air from 4 to 5:30 every Tuesday and Wednesday during the school year. Free phone-in tutoring is available to students during that time by calling 636-4357. Now to the coronavirus, as this week Kern County passed a tragic milestone in the COVID-19 pandemic with more than 2,500 confirmed deaths here in our community. Data from Kern Public Health shows COVID-19 continues to harm unvaccinated people more severely than anyone else. But Kern's COVID death toll has fewer racial disparities than the state's average. Latinos make up 56% of Kern people killed by the virus. African Americans represent 5% of local deaths, and white Kern residents make up 31%. These numbers fall in line with population sizes, according to our census data. However, local health experts say they still face unique challenges treating some communities of color, and more than 87% who were killed by the virus were unvaccinated.
We do treat those in general who are, let's just say, underserved medically. A lot of folks have not had good preventive care, and so they tend to have more serious chronic medical conditions. Well, I don't think anyone at this point can say, if you get vaccinated, you won't get sick. That's just not true. The good news is that when you are vaccinated, you won't get a severe disease should you get infected.
Now, Dr. Goldis went on to say health officials plan to release vaccines specifically designed to fight Omicron variants of COVID as soon as this fall. If you're looking to get your child's vaccines up to date, Kern Public Health is hosting a series of back-to-school vaccination clinics at the fairgrounds. The next one is happening right now. You can head out until 5 p.m. There's another one tomorrow morning from 8 a.m. to noon. Families are encouraged to make an appointment by calling 321-3000.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.